today we're going to be making some basic crepes, and I've already made a batch, so you can see how beautiful they are. I like to keep a container with a lid on the stove near me, because I don't have counter space. That's why I put it on the stove. But yeah, so you put the crepes as you make them into the container, and if they end up too crispy, don't worry about it. The steam's going to soften them up. You heat up your pan gently, and you add a dab of butter in the center, and you let the butter brown and sizzle. Very easy. I'm going to post the recipe on my blog. It's 1 cup of flour, 2 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk, and that's it. We're making savory crepes today because we're going to put salmon and cream cheese and dill in them. You can make them sweet. I like to add a little tablespoon of sugar if I'm going to make them sweet, and then you can serve them with maple syrup and cream cheese or any jam you like. If you like ricotta or cottage cheese, that's another nice filling, and then jam on top, honey. Honey's healthy too. Okay, then you make the batter in, I like to use the Pyrex measuring cup because it's got the spout and the handle. A pitcher would be nice too. Don't overwork it too much because the flour is going to make the batter tough. Just gently mix it with a fork. Don't worry about the lumps. Make the batter a night ahead if you can. It's ready for you in the morning. Then you just have to cook them. It's actually a smart idea. The lumps will work out on their own. They'll dissolve on their own. You can use a blender or a food processor or a mixer or even a handheld emulsion blender, but don't overdo it because you don't want tough crepes. Once your batter has browned, add the batter cover about half the size of your pan. This is a small 8-inch pan in the middle, and the sizzling and bubbling is really what you want. That's what makes the crepes lacy. Let it stand for just a few seconds, and then pick up your pan and swirl the batter around. Make it thinner consistency. This takes a little bit of practice. I lose my touch if I don't make them for a while, but it's not hard. They still taste really good. You don't want them thick though. They're not very nice if they're thick. And then just wait. Once you see the sides kind of separating from the pan and browning a little bit, it's probably ready to flip. If you can pick up the pan and move it like this and the crepe moves, it's definitely ready. So obviously this isn't ready. That's another way to tell. Use non-stick. I don't know how people do it in aluminum or stainless steel, but you figure crepes probably date back at least a few hundred years. People must have managed maybe with a lot more butter. I don't know. You can use oil if you want to be more health conscious, but the whole flavor in these is the butter. Excuse me, and you're not using that much, and you're not going to eat these every day. Okay, so we're going to take this one off. See how we got that lacy effect? That's because the butter was really hot and browned, and when the cold batter hit it, it just bubbled up. If you have to make a big batch, double or triple the recipe and use more than one pan. Set them on the burners, warm them up, and you can pour as you go and do 3 times the work in the same amount of time if you have a lot of people coming or if people love to eat them. You could easily eat a lot of these. You can also use bigger pans. The big 12-inch ones are nice. It's a little bit harder to maneuver because they're fairly thin. See, I just broke the edge on this one. If they're larger, but it can be done. It's really not that difficult. I'm going to let the other side brown a little bit more, then I'm going to take it off. If I'm going to make these sweet, I also like to add a little bit of vanilla. That's not traditional, but that's what I like to do. and the house smells wonderful with the butter and the vanilla. If you're going to make the sweet version, definitely think about using a little bit of vanilla. You could also do almond extract if you want. I wouldn't dare do mint extract. That's pushing it. It doesn't do well with butter, in my opinion. Then fold it in half and in half again, and then slide it into your covered dish and let it sit with the rest till you're ready to eat. And you're done.